I'm Toni McCombie, State Representative from the 89th, the House Republican leader from Northwest Illinois. We're all here today because Illinois families deserve transparency and accountability in the face of a migrant crisis that the governor and Mayor Johnson recklessly invited into our state. They pander to their political base, pushing out of touch immigration reforms. When these policies inevitably fail, they spread false information, withhold key details, blame everyone but themselves, and refuse to answer basic questions about the impact of their decisions. That should end today. Let's start with the governor, who irresponsibly claimed that ICE was targeting schools in Chicago, a statement that was completely false. When the truth came out, did he retract his words? Did he apologize? Correct the record? No. Instead, he doubled down on fear and misinformation, putting his political agenda ahead of the facts and the safety of our communities. Why? Because fear and misinformation serves a political agenda, but let me be clear, this does not serve the people of Illinois. This is too important of an issue to play political games. It's about real consequences, consequences that cost billions of taxpayer dollars, and ultimately consequences that cost lives. We have learned about yet another murder in Chicago, committed by an individual who took advantage of the sanctuary policies. Policies that are unjustly being championed by this administration and Mayor Johnson. This isn't just a policy failure, it's a failure that costs innocent lives. How many more cases like this are out there? What other crimes have been committed under the cover of secrecy? The public deserves answers, not silence. And last week we learned that Mayor Johnson is not fully cooperating with the request for information from Congress on Chicago's costly and dangerous sanctuary city policies. What is Mayor Johnson hiding? Why won't he come clean about the true cost to taxpayers and the growing risk to public safety? If these sanctuary policies are as beneficial as he claims, then prove it. Show the numbers. Show the facts. We have long called for legislation to end the sanctuary status of Illinois and allow for cooperation between local law enforcement and the federal immigration authorities. Cooperation is not a dirty word. These calls have been met with continuous opposition from the majority party, calling us every name in the book. But instead of political grandstanding, let's get to the bottom of what is actually going on. Today, we are calling on the Immigration Committee to hold hearings immediately to get all of the facts. We need law enforcement, city officials, and impacted communities to testify in public and answer the tough questions. How much is this policy truly costing Illinois taxpayers? How many illegal immigrants, non-citizens, have faced criminal charges and been released? How many crimes are connected to these illegal immigrants, non-citizens? How many incarcerated individuals in Illinois have an ICE detainer? What is the governor and Mayor Johnson's plan to address the crisis? Sorry, boys, you invited this into Illinois. If the governor and Mayor Johnson can't or won't solve this crisis, the Illinois House Republicans have solutions and will lead on this topic. Now I'd like to introduce Leader John Cabello.
Thank you, Leader McCombie. John Cabello, State Rep out of the 90th District up by Rockford. Under the Biden administration open border policy, the United States and the state of Illinois were unable to keep up with the flood of migrants into our state and country. According to the Center for Immigration Studies, Illinois is now the home to the fifth most highest illegal nationals in the country, with at least 500 530,000 illegal immigrants. 530,000. The surge in migrants and illegal immigrants in Illinois has led to a string of horrific crimes, endangering public safety, and has blown a huge hole in our already strained budget. Recent headlines have underscored how the surge of illegal immigrants has made our communities less safe. In Champaign-Urbana, 2 college students were killed in a hit-and-run traffic accident, which was by a Guatemalan illegal immigrant who had previously been deported. In Rockford, a 75-year-old female was horribly sexually assaulted by a 30-year-old who came from Venezuela through California and was bused to Rockford. In a truly horrific crime, 2 illegal immigrants allegedly tied up, tortured, and killed a 63-year-old Chicago man. And the first arrest in Chicago by ICE agents under the Trump administration was a convicted sex offender and child predator from Thailand. From a fiscal standpoint, illegal immigration has cost Illinois taxpayers billions of dollars and taken critical needs away from our working class families. The state of Illinois provides better health care benefits for undocumented immigrants than most Illinois families. In fact, Governor Pritzker watched as the state spent more than $2 billion in taxpayer funds on health care benefits for undocumented immigrants. Additionally, the state has spent at least $820 million to address Chicago migrant crisis. In total, nearly $3 billion has been dedicated to services for migrants and undocumented immigrants, while services for our most vulnerable citizens chronically are going underfunded. The sad reality is that Illinois sanctuary state policy has cost Illinois taxpayers billions and made our communities less safe. We are calling on the House Democrats to repeal the Trust Act so Illinois law enforcement can adequately communicate with ICE to detain and deport violent criminals. This should be common sense. When you tell your law enforcement that you cannot work with a federal government agency, it's idiotic. It is stupid. It puts our citizens at risk. I will continue to fight for legislation and state budget that prioritizes the needs of Illinois working families and seniors over migrants and illegal immigrants. And it's my honor to introduce Leader Ellick.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Amy Ellick, and I'm the state representative for the 111th District, which is in Madison County. Under Democrats' leadership, they've allowed for Illinois to become the go-to destination for illegal immigrants to the tune of over 500,000 people. And why wouldn't it be? Illinois gives undocumented immigrants free health care benefits, housing assistance, driver's licenses, and other benefits at the burden of the Illinois taxpayer. This is not what Illinois residents want. As we have talked to Illinoisans from all around the state, no one believes that we should be catering to illegal immigrants while our veterans, seniors, and most vulnerable services are underfunded. Aside from the public safety concerns that my colleagues have highlighted, which grow every day, this crisis is having a tremendous effect on Illinois taxpayers. The governor's own budget team has projected a budget deficit of over $3 billion. If he's looking for places to cut, he should start with the billions of dollars that go toward lavish benefits for illegal immigrants. Illinois cannot continue to shoulder the financial burden of free government handouts to illegal immigrants while costs for our own citizens skyrocket. We are flat broke. We cannot afford to accept hundreds of thousands of individuals and give them the resources they would need to succeed. Illinoisans are begging for tax relief. The Democrats' solution? Raise taxes to cover the costs for illegal immigrants, and when that doesn't cut it, just spend what we don't have. It cannot go on this way. Illinois simply cannot afford to spend over $1 billion per year on housing, food, and health care for illegal immigrants. That's $1 billion that could be used to combat homelessness and help our most vulnerable citizens and properly fund state programs that have been neglected. This has to stop. As long as Illinois continues to put illegal immigrants above Illinois families, we will continue to see families and businesses leaving this state in droves. It's bad public policy that has gotten us to this place. This should not be a partisan issue. Illinois citizens should come first.